Hi guys, and welcome back from Carly at the Herbothecary for another episode of Here We Grow Again. It's the 23rd of April. It's been chucking it down for 2 weeks straight, and it's the first day that I've not been at work during the lit hours in that time. Typically, it's due to rain all morning again, but on the bright side, I did just receive my new delivery from U Garden, so I'm going to be potting up my giant colossus strawberries that came. So all I'm going to do is take my standard potting mix that I use, and I'm going to add some fertilizer to this because we eat a lot of strawberries. As many of you know, I have perpetual strawberries, I have June-bearing strawberries, I have wild strawberries. Now I wanted some giant strawberries because my kids will literally clear them daily. I've really not had a lot of luck with online plug plants in the past, but this package from U Garden has come. It's really quite well protected, and each of these plug plants, I think it was $12.99, or at least under £15, because I did actually pay a premium for a speedier delivery, but I did that after the fact by calling them and asking them if they could speed them up. But under £15 for 12 plug plants, and they come perfectly individually packaged in these really quite sturdy, considering it's thin plastic containers. And as I don't have anywhere to put them yet and don't really fancy planting in the rain, and they look so healthy, except for a few little leaves that got snapped, which I'll just cut off now while I can see them clearly. I really wanted to get them potted up and at least in the conservatory to force them a little bit before I have somewhere to put them. So, just using my potting mix. Now, I do like to hold the plants to the side when I pot them on, especially with strawberries, because it makes it easier for me to hold the plant and ensure that that crown doesn't get buried, because if the crown gets buried, the plant will just die off. So I just hold it to the side, put a little in the bottom, fill it back in, and you know what? Keeping them to the side also helps me with space management because I can make sure that those leaves are all in one direction and they're not crowding each other. So now that they're all potted up, I'm just going to give them all a good drink of water, soak them in, make sure that all the soil settles around those roots. And then once the water has settled in, I will then go around and make sure once more that the crowns are not covered, because the last thing I want is for them to die before I get them in their home and wait for the sun to come out. And right on cue, the sunshine comes out, and as does Lilibet, my neighbour's cat, lying in her favourite place, my garden. And you can see how much it's been raining because that grass is in serious need of a mow. There have been some interesting new additions to my garden, my arch that I've put over the metal beds, and a really cool wildlife camera come bird feeder I got from Home Bargain or B&M, can't remember. I think I admit it from my memory as it was a sneaky fall into the shop while I was running a work errand. But I haven't been in the garden for 2 weeks, as I said. Those sweet peas have taken off beautifully. But it appears the Levatera, I think that was a Levatera, the label has been washed off in all the rain. I didn't really like it there, so I think I've still got time to resow that. My apple tree is blossoming beautifully, but that is only its first actual year since bare roots. I did buy myself a beautiful purple clematis while I was in there, and the first flower is about to open. I'm so excited. In my last video, I said I want purples and reds and really dark, vibrant colors in the garden this year. I did also cheat a little bit while I was there. Yes, I had to sneakily hide all this and bring it into the place before I left for work, but I did get myself the Mediterranean mix of herbs, as I've had no joy growing them from seed, and a pruning of a my grape bush that I just stuck in a pot last year seems to have come back to life, so I'm really excited about that, although it is surrounded by weeds, so I will have to repot it, give it a good clean up. My lavender, I thought I had killed so many times I let it get too woody, but that's coming back to life. I have some wild strawberries in my wisteria, but it looks like I will get at least 5 beautiful blue trusses of blossoms from my wisteria this year. I've always wanted a wisteria, just never managed to grow one, so it's looking good now. In this bed, oh my lord, the chard and the garlic, and they all seem to be living quite happily together, so I'm not messing with nature. I got myself another beautiful clematis. This one was a bit earlier and I put it straight outside. It's another gorgeous deep red one, so I'm really excited about that. These 4 pots, I had the silly idea of planting the giant tomatoes that I'm growing in there, but I think I'm being a bit preemptive. I might still find space in a garden bed for them. Here we have my June-bearing strawberries in the main bed and a few of the ever-bearing in the front. And we've got some Morning Glory trying to get in there. How annoying. And we have our first strawberry flowers. Now, I grow strawberries all over the garden, all different types of strawberries. As I said, my kids will they will chomp through 4 pallets a day if they're available. So it's best to grow them. These 2 planters at the back, I've never really planted anything in there because under the tree they don't get much. But last night I came out in the middle of the night and just chucked some straw on them. My main grape, which I thought was dead and I was going to grow peas up, has shoots on it. Who would have thunk it? The currants were a gift, but they seem to be producing so well this year, and I don't think I've actually eaten a currant before to know if I like it, so I guess this is the year to find out. All this playing in the hay is kicking off my allergies. This is a new addition. His name is Skelly Bones, but he needs some TLC because he's fallen over. And my new bird feeder seems to have turned into a bird bath cum feeder. That was from B&M as well, actually. My ferns have come back beautifully. They surround this little pond. Sweet peas, not doing so well. More wild strawberries. They seem to grow rampant in my garden. And I like popping them on little fruit salads, the type of cakes. They're very, very sweet. We have this sea of wild sorrel that, despite me thinning it and pulling it, comes back every year. The thyme seems to be coming back to life. As you can see, I have an absolute sea of white bells and bluebells. Another clematis to go up the climber. That's another purpley one. And a little nasturtium popping through. And a weed we don't want. So that can come out. My other bird feeder. And then this planter here is basically a boundary for those bluebells so the animals and my kids don't go climbing in them. And again, that's surrounded by wild strawberries and bluebells. I did plant some pansies in. This is going to be a medicinal flower bed. I have sown some echinacea, calendula, quite a few bits in there, some tea blends and stuff like that. Oh, and chamomile. My main cherry tree, this is my oldest cherry tree, is in full blossom, but she only ever gives us a dozen cherries or so. I have the white valerian that's medicinal as well. My girl, my fig tree, I've had her possibly the longest in this garden. In this bed, This is my trouble bed. I've never been able to grow anything in here except for that rosemary, but I've heavily mulched it, added mature manure actually in this bit, and mixed it in with that hay and rabbit dropping mix that I'm using. And I'm going to try just bombard it with seeds this year. I've even got, I've got a hosta starting at the base of this plant, and I don't actually know what this one is, but also a snail that's trying to eat it, and our hidey hole little bug hotel, and then obviously a sea of the white bells and bluebells, which don't help with the slugs, if I'm honest. But we have some tiny little cherries forming on this cherry tree already, so I am super duper excited. I did want to have these two entrance beds with flowers right at the entrance as you walk through the gate, but I didn't want it to be solely for flowers, so we do have some little salad leaves and that overwintered kale in there. Oh, that echinopsis is not looking good. Pretty sure these ones at the front are St. John's wort. However, I honestly can't be certain the amount of different things I've planted in this garden. This is my mulberry, and it's looking quite sad. It has started getting leaves again, but nothing towards the top. It's all down at the bottom. The others do look dead, so if anybody knows how to properly prune mulberry, please let me know, because I absolutely love mulberries. I grew up with them. And this is the main bed area, and this is the berry corner, and we have wild thornless blackberries that is taking over completely. And then we've got some raspberries and some tayberries in there as well. And as you know, I don't have a lot of space, but this is one of my apple trees, and it is flowering lovely. What was that one? I think that was another nasturtium or a morning glory. That did not survive, so I will reseed that. This bed is quite the enigma. I planted the greens and I planted the peas at the back, and definitely the bok choy that I grew from the stump of a store-bought bok choy. I sure didn't plant the potatoes, though. The only thing that I can assume is that when I was filling it with the garden waste and the old compost, there was an uncomposted potato, or 5 billion, and that seems to have taken off quite well. Then we've got more plum trees, cherry trees, apple tree, I believe. My blueberries at the bottom are in full flower, and all I did was, first of all, I used the pine needle fertilizer, as I hadn't got any ericaceous soil, slightly acidic, which is what blueberries like, but I did give them a slight top dressing of that, because I did pick up some more when I was in the naughty shop. I've got my brassicas and some more spinach and lettuce there. And then here again is another bed where I did not plant potatoes. So we have the nasturtiums, we have the spring onions coming up, the sunflowers. There are some peas at the back, but these potatoes really are taking over. Some colourful Swiss chard in between those, which I think will do fine. And then hiding under this mammoth potato plant, I have all of the come and cut again lettuce. But I do feel like it's actually doing quite well, because it's being shaded from the sun and it seems to be growing fine. We've had at least 4 meals out of it now. I just send the girls to come and do a little bit of picking, and we have enough for a salad or a sandwich. And this huge pea here, that really likes the shade for some reason. We have some pansies and some nasturtiums and some more sunflowers, although I don't hold up hope for the sunflowers, not getting any sun. I use the steps from my kids' old trundle bed to get my blueberry plants up off the ground, get them some more sun. as that tree that I showed in my last video does take over. And this is a new blueberry. Well, it's second year. And it's already got a few flowers on, so I can't complain. And I do have another one down there with more. This bed was the first bed I got, and I did have higher hopes for it, but I think I messed up the building of the compost, or the building of the bed, and keep getting these weird little mushrooms. I mean, I know mycelium is good, but they keep playing with the roots of my plants, and I'm not sure it's very tasty. So I will resort that before the tomatoes go in that one. The ferns have come back to life. There's the dreaded strawberry hanger. And our tadpoles are absolutely huge. They're coming along so well. And so is the oxygenating plant that is filling the entire pond. But I might have to clean some of that out because the little water fountain seems to have got blocked up. So I might either have to try fix that myself, or I might just have to buy another one. I hope it's the former, not the latter, because clearly I've treated myself enough. But my bearroot plum, this is his second year, and he has some fruits on him, so I'm very pleased with that. More apple trees fluting. I have had to hand pollinate. And then the dreaded hanging wall of strawberries. We have lost 6 out of the 18. Yeah, 6 out of the 18 strawberries. So I will probably replant that, or I might just give in. It might just be time to acknowledge that that doesn't work for me. I've tried the irrigation, I've tried the gel droplets, I've even tried sponges in the bottom, and this one's even come away from the fence. I have gone round and given everything a tomato feed today because that stinky nettle feed that I made isn't quite ready yet. Now into the crazy conservatory / dumping ground. I have my calendula are coming up, finally. This is the 3rd time I've tried to start them. I have an actual sea of sweet peppers. My kids do love them though. I have some baby bell melons there. The hibiscus that I grow for my daughter because they're her favourite flower have their first flower on. The hydrangeas survived. I failed again with the bay. Those tomatoes were supposed to be tumbling toms, so basket tomatoes, but they're not growing in that manner. I have giant tomatoes here and some of the yellow cherry toms. So I might have to repot the other tumbling toms that don't appear to be tumbling toms. And we have some broccoli plants here. I cheated and bought plug plants. No shock there. Here I decided I was going to start my onions in the trays because I don't have anywhere for them yet. Some more broccoli and salad greens. Unfortunately, I won't have place for these until I get my tomatoes, my cucumbers in. Here are the giant strawberries that I potted up. I did decide to pop some of them in this container because I will be containerizing them. My indoor peas are doing great. They're just not flowering yet, so I fertilized them. My calla lilies doing nothing. Neither are these that I bought. However, my dahlia has popped up and it even has a flower shoot on it. My goji berry is growing rather strange, but at least she's growing, and I do love gojis. She did give us a small harvest last year. And the avocado I thought I'd killed. My dark basil definitely needs some water. And then here, I've actually had to turn the grow lights off in here, and I will be taking them out completely so they can get some natural light. But here we have a ton of more tomatoes. My sweet corn is already knee-high by the 4th of July. We have melons, we have cucumbers, we have courgettes. Here we go. This is a cucumber plant. And yes, there's some spotting, but I'll take care of that. Out in the back garden, which doesn't get used as a garden, we have some more of those grapes that took, some more hydrangeas that I took from cuttings, some strawberries, some random carrots. Don't know what they're doing there, but we'll eat them nonetheless. And then this above the old compost bin, well, still in use compost bin, is more of a hotbed. As the compost breaks down, it heats everything up. So this lemon balm and curry plant are away with it. I have another raspberry there that was taken from a cutting. We have some strawberries growing in there. We have just so much going on in the garden at the moment. And I haven't been here for 2 weeks, so it has really taken off. Some random strawberries, not strawberries, potatoes that sprung up. So that's my garden now. How's your garden going? Have you neglected yours as badly as mine? Has the weather ravaged everything so badly? I know the garden was an absolute state, but that's because we also had a fox coming in and going through everything that I'd piled up neatly. But as I haven't been coming home till dark and have been rushing out in the morning, I haven't really had the chance to tidy anything up. My garden still seems to be going away with itself. Happy enough. I've lost some things, some not. Surviving despite the neglect. Some are trying to take over the garden. I'd love to hear how things are going for you, really. Hope you guys have enjoyed this silly little video. Thanks. Bye.